Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. Now, this is going to be the Remnants of Victory map. I don't think I've actually played this map before, other than on the Planetary Supremacy campaign. But we're going to do Strategic Command, 2,000 points, 8-point turn, or 80-point target, 8-turn limit. I'm going to be playing as the Astra Militarum, and we're going to be playing against the Adepta Sororitas. And we'll see what we can do here in terms of our loadout. I haven't played this player before, so I'm not sure what kind of builds or anything he's going to be using here. So I think what I'm going to do is try to do a heavy flamer build. That way I can take down the Adepta Sororitas infantry if they start coming at me, and then use my tanks to destroy any vehicles that may be closing the distance is kind of my thought process, and then we'll have a few guardsmen mixed in here as well. So I have 2 tank commanders. I have our Lehman Russ. I've actually got 3 of them. I have Punisher variants here to hopefully help me take down any infantry to stop them from locking me down into combat. I have 4 Sentinels with heavy flamers, and then 2 guardsmen to finish off our points here. Now, the thing to realize about this map on looking at around here is it's actually a really big map for compared to a standard map size. The strategic command points are really spaced out here, and it's not always super obvious where the spots are when you're looking around on these locations here for these games. So I'd recommend that you always look around and try to get an idea to at least have somewhat of an attack plan, because what's happening now is I have no idea where I want my guys to go. And it looks like he doesn't either, because he is still pretty far away. Now, thankfully I have a lot of movement given the highly mechanized force, so I'm going to kind of split our forces up here. But I probably should have brought a tank commander over on that side to be able to buff him up. But I just was like, well, maybe I'm going to get stuck in a big battle in the front here. Now, with that Sentinel kind of running around here, I'm going to be breaking cohesion. So unfortunately, he's not going, or battle line, I guess I should say, because cohesion in this game actually does mean something. So I shouldn't be so sloppy with my terms. But we'll kind of send these guys over here. And now we just said, now I guess we're going to have like a 3rd battle group here, and if I bring you up to here, this will now get everybody into a battle line. And then we got the forces up here. And surprisingly, our enemy seems to not have anybody near any of these command points, so I guess I'm just going to keep running around and capturing these points here. And if he's not going to be around here, maybe I should just consolidate in the middle, but I should be able to get all the way over here to capture this point as well. So now it gets me 2 of the points.
Awaiting your orders.
And we'll run you over here. Maybe to there, in case he has somebody that he tries to run around here to capture the point from the Sentinel, because then it'll blow up and it'll suffer a flame attack. That should do enough damage to be able to kill anybody that might be able to come over here. And then we'll even fortify the position even more with a Gatling cannon. Now, I could run you up there. I think I'd rather have the Sentinel, because most Sisters players will be running after us with Arcoflagellants. If there's nobody over there, I wonder if I shouldn't be just bringing this guy back over this way. Well, maybe I just keep slowly exploring here. Yeah, I still don't see anybody. Alright, here we go. We've now discovered the enemy. So we'll set that up because he would potentially cover that distance. I'll run some guardsmen up here. And I got the tank commander. I could run him up to there and get cohesion, but I think I'd rather just keep him along the side here. And then we'll bring this guy over this way. And now I should be able to set up a firing line if he does decide to come this way. Likewise, if he has anybody running around the side here, we should be able to shoot him with our cannon.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir? Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
And then I still have this guy here too.
Rolling out.
But given that there doesn't seem to be anybody over this far, let's just run the other tank up to the center too. Alright, so he's got an exorcist. And it limp dicks at attack. He's bringing the immolator up here. He's got a flamer build. So that shouldn't be too much of a danger for our vehicles. We got a Celestians that just have bolters. He does have a force moving over this way, trying to flank me. Alright, he's got some Retributors with a heavy flamer. He's got some Paragons just from that stomping around here. But I'm now up to 20 points. So I think I should be able to just run all the way over here. Yeah, so he still hasn't have anybody over by that other point, because he should have been able to capture that by now.
Kill or be killed.
Well, if I can blow up that immolator, I should be able to kill most of that infantry around them.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
So... And then I forgot to mention that I do have the multi-melta
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
sponsons on the tank commanders here.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
Because what I find is some of the sisters players will actually bring immolators that have the multi-melta on when they're fighting the sisters.
Firing cannon.
Alright, good. Now with these guys... Yeah, see, he's got an infantry force flanking me, arcoflagellants, heavy bolters, multi-meltas. So I think what I'm going to do then is I'll just pull these guys back. I'll set up some flame attacks here. I can run those guys in there. And if he gets the kill and he decides that he wants to capture it, then I'll have double flames coming in. He does have the multi-melta, but he should have quite a bit of difficulty getting into range. So I think if I just set these guys up with Overwatch, that should help get some kills. Now you're way out of range, but I can do the double attacks here. If I bring you up to here, that's just the bolter. Can't even do enough damage to hurt me. Let's move you up another one. So yeah, he's got more arcoflagellants over here. And we'll do double shot. Now, if I move you up to here, I should have 4 shots with the multi-melta, because that's got 5 range. He's got a hospitaler over here. But again, if I can drop this guy... Good, good. Miss, miss. Damn it. Alright, I just need one more shot. There we go. Beautiful. Actually, I thought that was going to do more damage than it did. I'm not going to lie.
What next, sir?
Well, what do I want to do? I can run the other tank commander up to here.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
I could start to bring this guy up here. Actually, I could probably come up here and take out some of these Retributors. And then body block. And that will help me capture this point. Yeah, so he's got Paragons with heavy flamer. See, I just went with a heavy flamer build. Well, maybe we just take out these guys. because they're light infantry. The flamers we don't really have to worry about, and the bolters aren't going to be particularly dangerous. And then I can keep the Acadian shock troops back here to try to body block. Maybe I'll even pull them back a little bit just to make sure I'm out of flamer range. And if they want to waste a crack grenade on me, that's fine. Now, interestingly, he did have his canoness up here, and she actually has the hospital double attack on there, so he's actually using it for bonus HP instead of getting the bonus attack. Nah, well, it was worth a shot. Let's just hold off on your... Hold off on your attacks here, and we'll bring you over to here. We'll set up your overwatch, because you'll probably get attacked into melee. And likewise, maybe we just bring you over to here. And what do we got for chances to hit? 42, let's try. Alright, nice hit. That was pretty huge. Only a 45. I think I probably want to save that in case the canoness comes over here to pay me a visit. So yeah, now we've captured 4 of these points, so that's going to get us another 20, and he doesn't have anything captured yet. And unfortunately our opponent then rage quit, so I was debating about whether I was going to upload this video. I usually don't upload these ones when they rage quit. However, this one, because I've had like 4 people quit the videos, I was worried I wasn't going to have a video this week, so I wanted to just upload it. And not just because I needed something to upload, but because I've had several matches now against newer players, which I'm guessing this person was, given how he was using his abilities with the Adepta Sororitas. I mean, they are tricky to use, and you really got to read the descriptions of the stuff. So he was like wasted his action point to set up an overwatch with his canoness just to give her 10% health instead of waiting for just a bonus attack, and then he went with like a very heavy flamer build, and then because I went with a heavy vehicle build, he effectively couldn't do much for damage against me, and so I think he just ended up leaving the game. But the big thing I wanted to mention is if you're a newer player and you're not used to where the strategic command points are laid out, you need to look over the map when you're deploying. You can just click the circles and that will give you an idea of where each of the strategic command points are. And then you want to move your guys around so you can send at least 1 unit out to capture the ones, especially the ones that are nearby. Because I think what happened to this player is I'm not sure he even knew what the objectives were. I don't know if he was thinking he was playing Exterminatus and then realized it was Strategic Command, because he wasn't even making any attempt to go after his Strategic Command points. And so by the time we were entering in our first major engagement, I was already going to be 50% of the way to winning the game, and then there was no way he was going to be able to run to those other points. I mean, at most he was going to contest 2 of the points and maybe be able to capture the one that was closest to him to give him a 3rd point, but then my sentinel would have ran over there and started to kill anybody. And then the other thing you got to be careful with is if your vehicles, when they explode, they have an AoE explosion that does actually pretty significant damage. Now the sisters have pretty good armor, so they're able to mitigate some of that, and then it did get them some momentum, which increases their evasion and also makes it easier for them to surge or empower their abilities depending on what unit you're using. So it's not the end of the world for a sister to do that, and because they gain so much momentum, it helps you get additional command point build up to help you start buffing yourself with the command point abilities. Now that everything costs 1 command point, it's much easier to kind of build out whatever buffs you need to best serve you. But when you're playing against the Astra Militarum, there's almost always going to be about 50% of the force is going to be vehicles, if not more. Occasionally you'll run into somebody that wants to play around with an infantry build that'll just kind of catch you with your pants down a little bit. But really all you need to do to counter that is just have a couple of flamers available and then set up a bunch of anti-vehicle, because your sisters Battle Sisters are now very viable because now they have both frag and crack grenades. So if they do a big infantry build, you just throw a couple of frag grenades in their face and then use your blessed ammo and blow everybody up. Or if they're body blocking, then you just run in there with your Celestian with your flamer. But having the Immolator tank being a flamer, the Paragons being a flamer, having the multi-melt Retributors as a flamer, he just had so much flamer. There was just no way he was going to be able to take out my tanks. Now, yes, he would have done some good damage once he got those Paragons and Canonus to close the distance, and he would have done some damage with the multi-melta, but then I would have just piled on there and easily killed him and sniped him down with my vehicles. Now, I will say that this was pre-patch, so I think what happened is the patch came out and then he just had his forces, and I think that probably also contributed to him ending up quitting the game, is just because so much of the sisters had changed. After that, he just got kind of frustrated with the whole situation. I mean, I suppose I can give him the benefit of the doubt too, that maybe it bugged out since it was over a patch transition that we were playing this match, and sometimes the multiplayer matches just get bugged out and then you have no option but to leave the match. But again, I think there was a lot of mistakes that were happening here, and I see that frequently. I mean, I get it that you're playing the Adepta Sororitas and you want to burn the heretics and everything like that, but you need to have a pretty diverse force selection, and you need to take into consideration what forces you're going to be fighting, because again, the Astra Militarum, the backbone of their army, is to have at least some tanks in there, and so you know that's going to be the case. So you need to make sure that you have some armor penetration to be able to help you do damage, or else you're going to be very let down and just get tabled like what was about to happen to this guy here. But again, please just look and click those circles if you're not familiar with the map to get an idea of how to deploy your forces, and then keep that into consideration as you're moving your guys around. You want to have some that have fast movement to help you cross the distance. Now, he didn't have any Seraphim, which are pretty much the sisters' best way of capturing points, because that's your jump infantry, which means they can get through obstacles. So that would have definitely helped him on a map like this, because there's several obstacles that were impeding my movement, and he would have been able to just fly right over them with his jump pack infantry, and that would have given him more maneuverability, especially as you start to get more command points built up and you can start giving your guys bonus movement on top of everything as well. So I hope that gives you some idea if you're a newer player, and if you're running into these difficulties when you're playing the strategic command maps, that would be my recommendation. Like I said, I'm trying to salvage kind of a bad situation with a bunch of new players rage quitting on me, but because I've now had 2 or 3 maps that they've quit because they've been doing pretty similar movements where they're not going after the capture points, I figured I'd just use it for this video to give an example of what not to do if you're a newer player, so that way you don't make this mistake, because it's definitely really painful. And I mean, sometimes you just forget to capture a point. That's happened to me recently. I had a match that I probably could have won, but I ended up losing because it took me 3 turns to go back and capture the point, and those points I needed to take the victory and not have my forces split up for the key engagements. So, it happens to the best of us, but hopefully this will give you some opportunities to learn from other people's mistake. And thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you, and I'm looking forward to playing around with the new Adepta Sororitas to be able to see how they play. So take it easy, guys.